Welcome everyone to May Day, our very, very first online May Day. My name is Simon Burke. I am an actor. I am a former president of the Actors Equity section of the MEAA. I'm a former vice president of the International Federation of Actors, and I'm a proud member of my union. I have been a proud member of my union since the age of 12. My cat is getting in front of my light here. Anyway, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which all of us meet, all around this country, wherever you are in this great country of ours. This is Aboriginal land, always was, always will be. I'm proud to be on Gadigal land this evening, the Gadigal land of the Eora Nation, and I want to acknowledge all the different lands on which we meet tonight, and any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander community members that are online with us tonight. And of course, I'd like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. So thank you so much for joining this in this incredible little experiment. As you all know, this would normally be a day where we'd be coming to the end of a fantastic day of rallying on the streets and getting together for the Family Fun Day. But in these strange and difficult times, of course, we have to do things a little differently. On this date, May Day, we are online in our homes, but remember, we are still joining hundreds of millions of workers around the world in commemoration of workers who died in the struggle for the 8-hour day. Now, we've been really overwhelmed by the incredible amount of unionists and those supporting unions who wanted to join this little experiment tonight. So we can't have all of you on screen, but look, if you are wearing a union t-shirt, or if you have some union paraphernalia, or if you've gone to a great deal of trouble with your May Day look, or if indeed you are a shameless exhibitionist who just lives to the camera, unlike myself, let us know via the chat. As I said before, the chat is at the bottom of your screen, and if you let our people know that you'd love to be on screen with the rest of us, we will do our best to bring you on screen. Today, as well as remembering the history behind this very important day on the calendar of workers around the world, we also want to celebrate what we've achieved, and we also want to prepare for the struggles ahead. And goodness knows there are going to be incredible struggles ahead. I'm sure we all realize that. I'd like to start with a very, very special welcome to country, and then we will hear from some of our fellow union members from across the state of New South Wales.
Hello everyone. Sadly, this May Day is going to be extremely different from any other May Day that we have celebrated in the past. At this point in time, we are going through horrid circumstances in relation to the COVID virus, and I share with you my thoughts and prayers. But in keeping with cultural protocol, I acknowledge the Eora Nation and Gadigal people as we gather on their traditional land here today. And I start by conveying my respect, paying respects to my elders and the elders of the Gadigal people. And I pay my respects to all elders past, present and emerging, and realise the many, many sacrifices that have been made by elders to create a better future for us all. And as you travel across our beautiful country, you are entering the lands of a nation, a tribe and a clan. For Aboriginal people, our culture and heritage is customary to our community's strength and resilience. And Australia is aware of our country's history, and we must inform the truth. And we must learn from the tragedies of the past, and the facts are seen through our eyes and our lived experience, and to accept all peoples of our country to go forward together. And I call upon Australians to celebrate and be proud and stand with us and respect the richness of our culture and our heritage. And I ask that you stand with us and walk beside us and not walk ahead of us and allow Aboriginal people to share the wealth and prosperity of our country. We as Aboriginal people and the Unions New South Wales certainly promotes a vision of one community and for us to achieve. And the philosophies of our union, we pride ourselves on respect, patience and certainly working and supporting workers throughout our country. The traditional owners' boundaries on which land we gather here today stem from the Hawkesbury River to the north, the Nepean to the west and the Georges River to the south. It is with honour that I welcome you all to Aboriginal land to conduct the Welcome to Country for Unions New South Wales May Day 2020. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Nicole Jess. I'm a Senior Correctional Officer at Silverwater Women's Correctional Centre. I'm Chairperson of the Prison Officer Vocational Branch and I'm also the Senior Vice President of the Public Service Association. I celebrate International Workers' Day because it's about a celebration of where we've come from, what we've achieved, where we're at now and what we're going to do for the future and for the safety, security of our jobs for the public service. Everyone should join their union because the union stands for what is right. It stands up for the person who doesn't have a voice to the loudest person who does have a voice. It's about the individual issues, it's about the collective issues, and it's about making sure that we have a job, not just for us now, but for our children and for our future.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn Kelly. I am a turnaround cleaner from Nipton Station and I am the branch president for the Workshops Division for the RTBU.
And I'm Dave Kelly. I'm a train driver and I'm also the depot convener for Flemington Maintenance Centre. May Day to us is a celebration of the wins that unions and workers have come together and fought with over the years.
I think it's important to have strength in solid.
Strength in unity?
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
What else there is?
I also believe that we should be part of a union because together we stand and united we beg.
Solidarity.
Hi, I'm Hope Atkins. I'm an English drama high school teacher and I'm a member of the New South Wales Teachers Federation that represents public school teachers in New South Wales. I am celebrating International Workers' Day this year, as every year, because it's a fantastic day to see all of our activists come together and not just work on individual matters. You know, every day you see people out in the streets doing their own thing, but at May Day you see people come together and work for the collective. And it's always a good time to join your union, and a woman's place, of course, is in her union.
My name's Joanne Mack. I work for Yummy Pet Food as a packer and I'm also a union delegate for the AMIEU. For me, International Workers' Day is a day of celebration. We celebrate the workers themselves and we also celebrate the working conditions and the fair pay that were fought for and won by our unions for us. More than anything at the moment, we need our unions. We need solidarity, we need strength in numbers, we need to encourage and to actively grow our union membership. We need to back our unions because they've certainly got our back.
Hello, my name is Michelle Cashman and I'm a registered nurse on the Central Coast. I'm a very proud member of the New South Wales Nurses and Midwives Association. On May the 1st, we celebrate May Day. This day is so important for all workers. It's a day internationally recognised for all the incredible work that workers have done. Our ancestors, our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, done over 125 years to improve conditions at work, to make things better for us, to make things safer for us. And I'm incredibly proud to be one of those workers today. I want our conditions to be kept safe, to keep the conditions that they fought so hard for, and to hopefully improve conditions to make it better for the years to come for our children and their children. I hope you'll join me in celebrating this magical day. The best way to do this is to encourage those that you work with to join their union. It's the best way we can all come together, unite in solidarity. Thank you. Have a great May Day.
Thank you so much to all of those union members who made those videos. Words that echo and resound so much with all of us, I'm sure. I hope you're ready for our first musical act of the evening. It's time for you now to turn your audio on, and you can sing along with these couple of fellas who have been a fixture at May Day celebrations here in Sydney for the past couple of years. Now, they're usually on stage, but tonight they're in their bedroom. So please give it up, everyone, comrades, for the Bragg brothers.
Hello guys, happy May Day everybody. It's really nice to be here to play a song for you guys tonight to celebrate International Workers' Day. We're going to play a little Billy Bragg number for you, so if you know it, sing along with us. There is power in the factory, power in the land, power in the hand of the worker. But it all amounts to nothing if together we don't stand. There is power in a union. Now our lessons of the past were all learned with workers' blood. Mistakes of the bosses we must pay for. From the cities and the farmlands to the trenches full of mud. War has always been the boss's way, sir. The union's forever defending our rights. Down with the black leg, the workers unite. With our brothers and our sisters from many far off lands. There is power in the union. Now I long for the morning that they realize brutality and unjust laws cannot defeat us. But who'll defend the workers who cannot organize when the bosses send their lackeys out to cheat us? Money speaks for money, the devil for his own. Who comes to speak for the skin and the bone? What a comfort to the widow, a light to the child. There is power in the union. The union's forever defending our rights. Down with the black leg, the workers unite. With our brothers and our sisters, together we will stand. There is power in the union. There is power in the union. Happy May Day, guys.
Happy May Day, comrades.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Justin and Sean. They're just amazing, guys. May Day would not be the same without you guys in Sydney. So thank you so much for joining us here today. I mean, the Bragg brothers, everyone, as you know, they should be smashing out an awesome gig tonight at something like the Oxford Art Factory or Lansdowne, shouldn't you, boys? But and they're not. As an actor, I should be getting ready for my next role, which was going to be a big role in a show called Everybody's Talking About Jamie, a big musical which is due to open at the Opera House next month. But I'm not, like most performers, like almost every performer in the country. My entire slate of work has been cancelled or postponed indefinitely for the rest of the year due to the closure of venues brought about by COVID-19. And because of the nature of our work, all performers are basically ineligible for JobKeeper, that great scheme worked so closely by the ACTU and Sally McManus with the government. But that just makes it this incredibly difficult time for everyone in the world, kind of more difficult for those of us in the entertainment industry. We were the first hit when venues closed down, and it looks like we'll be the last to open because of the social distancing rules around large gatherings. So I've got something interesting for you tonight, though, guys. If you like your Aussie content, and who doesn't love their Aussie TV content? If you like your Wentworth, your Mystery Road, your Home and Away, or your Play School, from tomorrow, MEAA is launching a really fun website with a very important message of support for the industry, for performers, for those that work in the entertainment industry. It's called the Great Australian Binge, and it's kind of like it's like a hottest 100 of Australian streaming content. So from tomorrow, if you go to greataustraliabinge.com.au from tomorrow, you vote for your favorite Australian show and hear a bit about what's going on for performers and people in our industry. And please vote for a show that I've been in. A big part of May Day is looking towards the future, but also a big part of May Day is thinking about our movement's incredible past and incredible history. And to tell us more about that, we are so lucky to have one of our great national treasures, an author, a unionist, a man I met at the age of 13 when we did a film together when I was 13 called The Devil's Playground. But he's got many more interesting credits than that. And his name is Mr. Thomas Keneally. Over to you, Tom.
Great to get the nod from you, Simon. May Day stands for an inextinguishable dream of equity for all who work. It's my honour as a sole trader, self-employed, to speak of it tonight. Given that the living standards of the most successful societies on earth owe such a great deal to the union movement, each year on 1st of May, people come together to celebrate with marches, parades, bands, rallies, picnic days, and toasts, and if all else fails, on Zoom. In the past, the workers have celebrated the fact that due to May Day and what it symbolizes, their descendants can know justice and fairness and fulfillment, very importantly, in the places where they work. Now, in the midst of COVID-19, even in an Australia where the workforce is half casual or under contract, the union movement is still of such significance to Australia and to the dignity of work and to its claims to justice that the ACT has been involved in the decisions of government about what happens. And it is important that the unions will have a place at the table in designing a new world, in ensuring that our grandchildren and their grandchildren will not be ground down to a sort of corporatist serfdom. This is a May Day of massive significance for all the workers of the world and all the citizens of the world. And it is so because we know new plans have to be devised. And in that regard, may I say a word for the arts industries, because they are industries and performers must be brought into the tent now, or we will be left perpetually impoverished. The world before the union movement was for the masses unspeakable. Textile machinery commonly crushed and removed the hands of child labourers. Seamstresses worked 16 hours a day in TB-ridden premises. Boys of 10 hauled coal trucks and slept in the mine itself. By 30 years of age, most miners had black lung. There was no recompense for industrial accidents or industrial deaths. We look now at the monument topped by the 3 figure-8 standing in Melbourne. James Stephen, a Welshman and Chartist, immigrated to Melbourne in 1853 and in 1856 led a strike, a walk-off of the stonemasons from 1856, and within a very short time was granted an 8-hour day, which came as a result of the Masons' walkout from the university. I'm fascinated too by the events of 1891, whereas the great folk song has it, the price of wool was falling. From Claremont to Bacaldan, the shearers' camps were full. 10,000 blades were ready to strip the greasy wool. When through the west like thunder rang out the union's call, these sheds will be sure union or they won't get shore at all. Nordenfeld and Gatling guns were deployed into the bush to resist the shearers. The young Banjo Patterson was at the time courting a girl called Christina McPherson from Dagworth Station in Queensland. Her brother Bob filled Banjo in on the pursuit by a local squatter of a shearer named Frenchie Hofmeister. There's multiculturalism for you. And and told him the story of his mysteriously ending up dead, a death in custody, if you like. Hence, Waltzing Matilda was born. But apart from Hofmeister, death didn't stalk the strikers of 1891, nor did the machine guns come to be deployed against them. Thank God, as they were because they were in American strikes, as we know. But 14 men were sentenced in Rockhampton, and as the ballad has it, when they jail a man for striking, it's a rich man's country yet. But from the brave failed strike that left shearers hungry came in short order the birth of the Labour Leagues and the birth of the earliest Labour Party, the earliest social democratic party in the English-speaking world. Let us hope this May Day that in the near future, whose breath is already on our necks, the world will remember that without unions, there would be no parental leave, no 8-hour-day principle, no principle or reality of equal pay for women, no sick, annual or long-distance leave, no workers' compensation, or the boon of a weekend or its equivalent, which is so civilizing in our society. None of these benefits which all society cherishes would have existed without the unions. So keep going, brothers and sisters, and do cherish and dream forward from this promising and strange May Day. And remember the actors and the scribblers, eh, Simon? God bless us all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thomas. So good to see you. Just seeing the wrong people here. Everybody, that was just such great words from Tom Keneally. We've had so many fantastic messages of support from May Day and hellos from people all across the country. So thank you for those. We've also had some great acknowledgement of country from the lands that people happen to be in, which is fantastic. Before I introduce our next guest, the guys backstage have said to me, if you want to be seen, if you want to be on video, please get in touch with us either via chat or the raise hand little application, which is on the bottom of your screen, because we'd love to see you, especially if you're wearing your union's t-shirt or paraphernalia, or if you've got some fantastic get up for May Day, or if you're just a shameless camera person, just come on. It'd be great. Oh, I can see a lot. Oh, that's fantastic. So many of you are raising your hand. Yeah, come on. We want to see you all. It'd be great. Great. It's now my incredible pleasure to introduce our next speaker. She is the General Secretary of the International Trade Union Confederation. Before that, she was president of the Australian Council of Trade Unions, the ACTU, where she led the Your Rights at Work campaign, that wonderful campaign that we all remember with such gratitude and fondness. And she began her working life, I believe, as a teacher. It's my great pleasure to introduce Sharan Burrow.
Okay, I think we're off mute. Happy May Day, comrades. And I must tell you that it's strange to say that in such grim times. But first of all, let me acknowledge the traditional lands on which we are symbolic. I'm symbolically meeting tonight, and indeed thank the elders for their custodianship, both, of course, past and present. Can I just say to you that you are living through, we all are living through, right around the world, the greatest act of global solidarity in our history. It is, of course, giving up our civic freedoms, watching the base of our economy disappear to save lives. And we overwhelmingly say that that's the priority. Human life above all else. But I can't pretend to you that this is not having a devastating impact. Indeed, first of all, let us toast the frontline workers, because despite us agreeing to stay home and keep others safe, they go to work every day. There are lots of them. Of course, you know there are workers in health and in care settings. You know there are workers in our supermarkets and our pharmacies, in transport, but there are also many, many invisible services. And we salute you all, because you put your safety at risk and that of your families on any given day for us. And I think that's a debt of gratitude, very hard for us to repay, but we will stand with you every step of the way to see that your work is decent and just. And it does remind me that as I tell you about our world, that 70% of the health care workers are women, 56% of services workers are women. They're amongst the lowest paid. So the terrible black irony of this is that we are dependent on some of the lowest paid workers in the world, and we must rectify that. In the future, with wage claims, pay equity can no longer be simply an aspiration. But I want to give you a global picture, because conflict around the world has been escalating with a military spend and numbers of refugees greater than World War II. We already have massive inequality, and it's been driving an age of anger with civil unrest and distrust in democracy that was already recognised as a major risk to economies. The climate emergency is and will remain an imperative for action to save the lives of human beings from extinction. And progress, as I said, on every indicator has stalled for women, and tragically violence against women remains largely unchecked. And we've seen domestic violence on the rise in this difficult time. Racism and xenophobia are on the rise of tools of fear on which far-right politics have been built, and we must defeat that. We are facing, of course, the choices associated with the best and the worst of technology. And multilateralism is in crisis as people lose trust in democracies, in the global governance of our world, as well as national policies. So we already had this convergence of crisis. And now we have COVID-19. And it's a pretty tragic picture. It is indeed risking some 300 million jobs or full-time equivalent hours around the world. It is in reality, we have brothers and sisters, up to 250 million of them, facing starvation with no income and no social protection. And some 500 million people could be thrown back into extreme poverty. That's a disaster. But you know what the anecdote is? It's trade unions. Of course, with our allies in civil society, building those community movements. But the antidote to crisis has always been trade unions. And we will take up the fight. Sally McManus, I know that you're on tonight as a speaker, a dear sister and comrade, but what an incredible leader with Michelle and the rest of the ACTU and the union leaders. You are unbelievable. And I say to you tonight, we coined the phrase, change the rules. Well, now coming out of this crisis, as we build recovery, we must build resilience. That means we need to redesign our world. We do not want the world that was, with all its fragilities, all of the exclusions, all of the discriminatory policies, where you have all wealth gathered to the 1%, where we don't share our prosperity, where we've lost compassion for each other. Solidarity means solidarity with everyone. So Sally, change the rules is never more appropriate. And as we look to recovery and resilience across all of those areas of crisis, we must deal with each of them in an integrated way. And that's why we're calling for a new social contract. At the end of the Great Depression, and we will face a massive depression by all indicators, greater than the 1930s, then a social contract was struck. It was about democratic rights and freedoms. It was about labour rights, and the great institutions of the ILO and the UN were born. They need a refresh. The Bretton Woods institutions, born to create economic stability, they in fact need to be reformed dramatically. So we want change. We want massive change, and we want to be at the table. But we will fight on the outside and on the inside to make sure that the future is resilient. And apart from fighting for a new social contract, I want to say to you, Simon, when people say, what does that mean? And we have an action on our site today. Tell us what you want in your new social contract, because we want the entertainers and we want the casual workers denied what's been a great fight, Sally, to break that New Start poverty payment. Now I know you'll have to fight to keep it and to make everybody inclusive. But I can tell the people excluded out there that in fact in our social contract, we will have a labour protection floor for all workers, regardless of what work you do, because we'll fight for it. Fundamental rights, including of course freedom of association, the right to join a union and bargain collectively. Occupational health and safety. If ever it's been exposed that that needs to be a fundamental right, it's now. An adequate minimum wage on which people can live with dignity, and indeed maximum hours of work. But we must marry that with universal social protection. And when I tell you that's our biggest fight right now, you will understand, because 70% of the world's people have no adequate social protection. In fact, more than 50% have none at all. So I can tell you, in this $10 trillion that the world is spending right now, probably double by the time we come through the recovery phase, because it will make the Marshall Plan look like a cake run, then our world at the moment will not vote up a shared 37 billion for 28 poorest countries for social protection for 5 years. It won't vote up 100 trillion or 150 trillion to part fund the gaps in the lower to middle income countries, despite the fact that this would not only save people's lives, it would build basic economies and build resilience. So recovery and resilience requires a new social contract. Women, a transformative agenda for women, just transition for climate action and technological change, all of these things with our vital public services, to the health unions, to education, my wonderful comrades in New South Wales from my own union, to childcare, to aged care workers. We will never again see you underfunded. Investment in care, in infrastructure, in industry, in jobs, jobs and jobs, with all the social justice of rights and wages. We know that the unions are the antidote. So tonight, I want to toast the frontline workers, but I also want to say to all of you, the fight has just begun, and it's all those workers, all of you listening in tonight, who will lead that fight. So unfortunately, it's 10:15 or 10:30 in Brussels, so my drink of choice is coffee, for those who know me well, but happy May Day, comrades.
Hi, I'm Sinead, and I'm a disability support worker, and I'm a member of the disability union, the ASU. International Workers' Day, otherwise known as May Day, is a day for all of us to come together and celebrate us essential workers on the front line. I have worked in mental health now for over 6 years, and I've worked with many young adults who have experienced clinical depression, bipolar and anxiety disorder, trauma, abuse, just to name a few. It is important that people join their union. So for those of you who haven't joined your union, now would be a perfect time to jump on board and become a member.
Hi, my name's Tracy. I'm a postie and I'm a member of the CEPU Communications Union. International Workers' Day is a time for us to remember the workers that have come before us, that have set up what we're currently working for and with, and something that's going to allow us to leave a good future for our children. Without the union, we could be in a position, especially with something like our current pandemic, of losing our rights, having our wages slashed, having our time to work slashed. We're at the front of this pandemic and we're all out there trying to do the best that we can. With the union support, we've been able to maintain our current work practices and we've been able to present a united face to the community.
Hi, my name is Carol. I work at Coles. My union is the SDA. COVID-19 crisis has shown me that we are very important essential workers working on the front line and that our companies should be giving us a pay rise. I have always thought it very important to be in the union because without them we would not have the good working conditions that we have. Bernie and his team never give up on any task that is too hard, especially during the COVID-19 crisis, to keep us all safe. I am very proud to be a union member.
My name's Tony Dimitriou and I'm a proud banker and member of the Finance Sector Union. On the subject of International Workers' Day and its importance, this is something that's paved the way for us to be where we are today and we have to support it. It's something that the foundations have been laid already and we're here to build on them. It's for us to honour those that have worked tirelessly for us to have what we have today at work. If you haven't joined the FSU, do it.
Hi, my name is Sam Samak and I work for GlaxoSmithKline. The COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc on our country, but my SDA colleagues and I are working round the clock to support GSK in bringing Panadol to the Australian people.
Hi, my name is Sharan and I am the Procurement Advisor at Ausgrid. I'm also a member of the United Services Union, which represent local government, energy and utilities, airlines and clerical, and the private sector throughout New South Wales. International Workers' Day is a day that we get to celebrate with everyone across the world to understand, reminisce, and appreciate the working conditions that present us today. During these uncertain times, all workers should join their union and be a part of a support unit. So let's be on this journey together.
Hey, I'm Jessie Ray. I work in food manufacturing and I'm with the AMWU. International Workers' Day is an opportunity for us to celebrate that we have the right to strike and the government is constantly trying to take that away from us, constantly trying to take away the power of the workers. And throughout history, we've shown you can't do that. We are strong in numbers. And if you just keep attacking the workforce, we're going to come back harder, stronger, and with more passion, and you're going to lose.
Hi, I'm Alec. I'm a communications worker with Sydney Trains and an electrical trades union delegate. I'm a member of the ETU who represents electrical and tradespeople across New South Wales. So I'm celebrating May Day this year so we can celebrate and think about all of the victories that we've had in the past as an organised movement, as a trade union movement, the strength that we have collectively in our workplaces and in our communities, and the fact that we have an ability to be able to fight for the future for the things that we need.
Hi, I'm Natalie and I'm a Wharfie at Port Botany and a proud member of the Maritime Union of Australia. We faced bushfire crisis and now we've faced the COVID crisis, which has led to unemployment, which has led to unsafe conditions at work and people being docked for standing up and speaking out. So on International Workers' Day, I urge everyone to be loud, to stand up for safety at work, unite, be loud and happy May Day, comrades. MUA here to stay.
Hi, I'm Katrina. I've worked in aged care for 10 years. I love my job, so I've been here 10 years, but we do need extra support from the government to help us with that.
Hi, my name is Sonia Sherpa. I work as a healthcare worker in the aged care. Yeah, I'm just a worker, but for my family, I'm the work. Like I'm the young mother. Like I have with my son, 20-month-old son, so I have to take care of them as well. So as we take care of our patients, I was expecting some managements. They're going to take care of us as well.
Hi, my name's Nick. I am a bus driver from Eastern Sydney. I'm a member of the RTBU. I'm celebrating May Day this year because the workers of the world in 2020 have suddenly become essential workers of the world, something we should all be proud of. Being a member of the union is important to me because when you become a member of a union, it's like joining a family of people at work, brothers and sisters that look after your welfare while you're at work. So when you come home, you can look after the welfare of your family. Have a great May Day.
Yeah, well, I certainly feel like a family, like we're all part of a family tonight, Nick. Thank you to Nick, Katrina, Sonny, Natalie, Alec, Jesse, Sinead, Tracy, Carol, Tony, Sam, and Tom for those really inspiring words. Thank you so much. And a special thank you to Sharan for sharing your coffee with us in Brussels. We really appreciate you, and it's so great that you're here with us tonight. Our next speaker is the Secretary of the ACTU, the person who's been leading us through this incredible crisis and difficult crisis. And we have so much to be proud of for everything that we have achieved because of the actions that she's taken and all of the ACTU have done. So please welcome Sally McManus.
Hey comrades, great to be with you on May Day. I want to acknowledge that I'm on the land of the Darug people here in the beautiful Blue Mountains. It's such a hard time for all of us and we're experiencing it in very different ways. So you've heard from our brothers and sisters in the MEAA and the fact that they've lost their jobs and they're not picked up, some of them by job seeker and not by job keeper. We've got to keep fighting for them, just like we've got to keep fighting for all the other casual workers and the visa workers who are locked out of those two things we've won. Also, there's a lot of people who've had their hours cut right across industries as employers have tried to cope with the downturn. And then on the other hand, there's our supermarket workers, for example, and our posties that we saw that are working extra hours, extra long hours at this particular time. And then there's about 1 in 3 workers who are working from home at the moment. And for some people who also have kids at home, that's really tough. And for everyone working from home, there's mental health issues we face with being isolated. And then, of course, there's all the essential workers that many of whom we've just heard from, and weren't they awesome? Now, so many of them are working really hard and at risk to themselves. And in particular, all of the workers in the healthcare industry sector, aged care and community and social and community care, putting their own health on the line to support everyone. We know the statistics of death rates of healthcare workers around the world. I'm so glad we have dodged that here in Australia because of the solidarity that we've shown in terms of social distancing. Well, as many other people have said, workers have never been more important. In fact, it seems like workers are sexy now, especially essential workers. And we need to remember this. It's not the billionaires, it's not the CEOs, it's not the hedge fund managers that are essential in our society. It's us, it's working people. And that's been acknowledged here in Australia and also all around the world. And as Sharan has mentioned, there's a big struggle going on. There's a fight going on between the billionaires and our scientists and health professionals. And on one hand, the billionaires saying, well, just open up the economy, and the health professionals saying, if you do that, you're going to kill a lot of people. And we can see that happening on such tragic proportions in the UK under Donald Trump. See the protests, well, the small protests that are happening with people saying they want the economy open. Well, those workers don't have JobKeeper. They've got nothing. They're hungry and they've got nothing to support them. And in the UK, we see just how terrible it's been because they've adopted this austerity idea, which basically means you cut public sector as much as possible. And now look at their healthcare system, like struggling under the terrible crisis that they're facing over there. You know, thank God we're in Australia, and thank God we've got Medicare, and thank God we've got a union movement, all of us that have fought for the protections that we've got. The disaster that's happening in the US and the UK and many other countries because they've not adopted any of that. And what I wanted to say to you all is this. So many people, probably 2 million people will be on JobKeeper, maybe more, and around the same on JobSeeker. They're on that because of you, because of trade union members, because of the trade union movement of this country who fought for JobKeeper, who fought to double JobSeeker. So you're going to come across people that are on the $750 a week. We need to remind them that's because of the trade union movement of this country that's happened. And it's $200 a week more than JobSeeker. It would not have happened if it weren't for us. So remember that in your conversations with people about joining us. There's never been a more important, a better time to join us. And I wanted to tell you something really positive. They track trust in institutions or organisations. And last week, it came out that trust in unions, in the union movement of Australia, has shot up 10 whole points just in a month. It's like the 10 years they've invested in demonising us has just been wiped out in 1 month. So I just got to have a drink. And why is that? As people know, we're in their corner. Australian union movement's in their corner. And Sharan mentioned it. Finally, I want to say this. People are understanding what solidarity means, something we understand deeply because we believe in supporting each other, in the dignity of every single person. Everyone's learning this through social distancing, through looking after each other. That's a legacy that we've got to make sure that we entrench in our country. So I wanted to raise my glass and to say, long live May Day, solidarity to everyone.
Hi, my name is Margie. I'm an academic in nursing and I specialise in public health and epidemiology. I belong to 2 unions, the New South Wales Nurses and Midwives Association and the National Tertiary Education Union, or NTEU. May Day means so much to me because I'm so grateful for all of the work that both of my unions have done for me and all of my colleagues over many, many years, and that they still continue to do in looking after us and in protecting all of our rights at work. So I encourage everybody to get behind your unions, and happy May Day.
Hello, my name is Maysoon. I've been working in the community sector for about 5 years in various support roles. I've just joined the Australian Services Union this last year, and it feels great to be part of something empowering as a union. You get to have a role in shaping your workplace and have a say in the sector as a whole. I think the current crisis has shown everybody just how important and essential the services this sector provides. I'm lucky to be able to work from home, but many of my colleagues are on the front line delivering services to our community in risky conditions for them and their families. There are many benefits for joining a union, like connecting with fellow workers, sharing experiences, membership benefits, but most importantly, feeling empowered in your workplace and having a say in your working environment. And don't just be a union member. Be an active union member to ensure that it represents you in the best way. So this May Day, why not join the union? Be empowered by it and empower it.
So my wife and I have been coping very well. We have enough money to live on, and we keep each other company, and we manage to keep each other happy. But this would not have been the case if we didn't have pandemic leave after the casino shutdown and the JobKeeper. 2 initiatives that the union pushed for. I want a future where the value of a worker is recognised. We are massive debt to our essential workers. That's people in the medical field, transportation, education, tradespeople, and any other role that's currently operating while the rest of us have to be on lockdown. We are seeing firsthand what happens to our economy when normal Australians don't have enough money to live on. In Australia, all workers are essential for this economy to function, and we want our rights and conditions to reflect that.
My name's Bill Green, and I work as a carpenter for the Inner West Council. I'm in the United Services Union that represents local government workers, among others. International Workers' Day, or May Day to me, is similar to a holy day among the religions. It's a time of reflection and the celebration of achievements. It's also the vision of what is yet to be achieved. There's a moral obligation to be staunch and stay together for the protection of all.
Hey everyone, I'm Morris Farrell. I work for one of the big four banks and am a proud member of the mighty finance sector union, the FSU. International Workers' Day, it means a lot to me. There is a lot of history and a lot for us to be proud on and to reflect on, and also to reflect on the sacrifices that workers before us, working collectively, have made massive sacrifices to ensure the standard of living that we've got now. But International Workers' Day is quite clear the struggle's not over, and together we can achieve more. I believe it's more important than ever to be in a union, to not only build on the achievements that we've got. Trade unions have a long, proud history of delivering this. We've got to do this, and we've got to do it together for the future and to honour the past. So that's why International Workers' Day is very, very important to me. Just one finance sector worker out of thousands, and thousands that have joined in the finance sector union to make sure that your rights at work will continue to be protected.
Please thank everyone. Please thank you. Thank Margie and Maysoon, and David and Bill and Morris for those just fantastically inspiring words. And please thank Sally McManus. Thank you for all that you do. I think we all understand solidarity on a day like this, but when we see you speak, we understand leadership. So thank you very much for everything that you do. Just before we go on to our next segment, we've got still got about 500 participants online, which is absolutely great, but we can't see all of you. And so I just want to shout out to those of you that aren't on screen. We want to see you. We want to see pages and pages and pages of you. We've got about 100 people on at the moment. So just go down to the participants page. Click on participants and raise your hand. Come on, 6 of you, more, 7, 8, 9. Oh, look at that, more. That's it. That's exactly what we want. We want to see pages and pages of union members celebrating this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. In the lead up to May Day, we invited our movement's children, kids, to create an artwork which would say what May Day means to them. And we got many, many, many lovely and great, terrific artworks. And there is a cash prize, comrades, can you believe it? Should have put one in for myself. So we'd now like to introduce you to the winners of the May Day art competition for kids. Third prize went to Ruby, Kerry, and Emily. Are you there, guys? Ruby, Kerry, and Emily. Hi guys, how are you? Okay. Hey, do you have your video? Can you show up? Can you show us your artwork? Oh, that's pretty good. Excellent. Well done. Big hand for those guys. Third prize. Yeah. Oh, that's excellent.
And I also got this.
Oh, nice. Nice one. Thank you, guys. Well done. Spend the money wisely. Good on you. Now it's time for the second prize. And the second prize went to Tess. You there, Tess? Oh, hi, Tess. Fantastic. Happy May Day to you. Beautiful work. Excellent. Thanks so much. The first prize, I don't think the person knows that they've won, but the first prize goes to Phoenix. Are you there, Phoenix? Ah, Phoenix, hi. How are you? We need to unmute you, I think, because we'd like to have a little chat with you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So can we have a look at your artwork again?
Yep.
Awesome. Tell us a bit about, well, tell us a bit about how long did it take you to do? What did you think about? What made you?
Well, recently I've been drawing phoenixes and all and that sort for a school art project, and I thought, maybe this might be a good idea to draw for the art competition.
Absolutely.
So I drew it, and I came up with some phrase to put at the bottom.
Yeah, the slogans. Can you read the slogan for us?
Stay strong, stay union, stand together.
Stay strong, stay union, stand together. Pretty great words. And like the phoenix, let's hope we all rise from the ashes and our unions stay strong. We stay union, we stand together. Thank you so much, Phoenix. Congratulations. Enjoy the prize, eh?
Thanks.
It's now my great pleasure to welcome Mark Morey, the Secretary of Unions, New South Wales. Over to you, Mark.
Thanks very much, Simon. And how good is it to hear from so many workers? Every worker is essential. Every worker makes a difference. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land where I am tonight, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. How good is it to hear from our future leaders tonight, the kids looking at them drawing and getting involved in it. How good is it to hear from Sharan and Sally about what's happening at a national and a global level. They are true leaders of our movement. Today we are reflecting on May Day. It's a difficult time. Some of the things we should be thinking about is just how essential all workers are to keeping our economy going, keeping us safe, making sure our community functions. We are important and we matter. This pandemic is a time where we can change the way in which we are doing things. It's an opportunity to challenge the orthodoxy. We should also think about those people who have lost their jobs in recent weeks, those people who are going to lose their jobs in coming weeks, and more particularly, those workers who are casual or are working here on a visa who don't get any support. They are the workers that we should be advocating for. They are the workers the movement stands up for. They are the reason we actually have a union movement. And I've heard some stories speaking to people. I spoke to a person today who has told me that they were offered a contract in their workplace, a casual worker. There were some problems with it. And the response, sign it or don't come in on Monday. These are the things that we as unionists face all the time in our workplaces. But this pandemic gives us an opportunity to challenge the orthodoxy. It gives us a challenge to do something different. And there is a crying need for the union movement, and people are joining unions at the moment. We are reaching out, and our message, as Sally says, is reaching people. Our values are and always have been good values. Union values are strong values. The union movement is a strong and resilient movement. What we need to do now is move out, talk to those who aren't in the movement, speak to them. Speak to those people in our workplaces, our pubs, our clubs, wherever we go once this pandemic is over, and actually say to them, if you want a better society, if you want to make a better workplace, you must join your union. You must join your union. And that's why tonight we're launching a start of a campaign, and we want to hear from not just unionists, but people who aren't unionists about what are the priorities for them. What are the key things that will make the world better for them? What are the key things that will make their workplaces better? What are the key things, the bread and butter issues that will improve their lives? Tonight, if you're with someone, have a look at them. If you're not, have a look at someone on the screen and ask yourself one question. If I'm already at work, What am I going to say to the person I see first up when I get back to work? When the pandemic's over, when you talk to a colleague, what is the first thing you're going to say to them? And the important thing to say to them is, you need to join a union. You need to be a part of something bigger, something with hope, and something for change. The union movement in this country has and will continue to hold governments accountable and will continue to change governments. But what we need tonight, you will be sent a link. Get that link, fill out the survey, send the survey around to your friends, your family, your co-workers, and let's start doing what we need to start doing. Let's start taking action on a small scale in our workplaces. Let's build strength, build capability, march out, march strong. Let's make this country better, and let's not be held down by the usual orthodoxy of the parliament and the politicians. It's time for change. It is our time. It is unionists' time. To everyone out there, raise a glass tonight. Happy May Day. Long live May Day. Proud to be union.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for that great toast. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been waiting with bated breath to introduce our final guest this evening. Weren't sure that we were going to be able to see him or not, but I am so excited to welcome Billy Bragg this evening. He should have been in Australia right now, but instead he's joining us from London. So there's nothing else to say except please welcome Billy Bragg singing Solidarity Forever. Turn up the volume and open the windows and sing out loud. Off you go.
Thank you very much, Simon. It's true, yes, I should have been in Adelaide tonight, but unfortunately this pandemic has kept me away. But it doesn't stop me from expressing my solidarity. Why do we finish with a song? Because empathy is the currency of music. And when you mix empathy with activism, you get solidarity. And that's what we have in our movement. That's what we have in our politics. That's what we have in this song. Happy May Day. When the workers' inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there shall be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. For what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. It is we who make the ferries, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving with the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. In our hands is placed a power greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of atoms magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Come on, everyone. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us forever.
Billy Bragg, everyone. A big cheer for Billy Bragg once more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A real pleasure to be part of it.
Yeah.
See you in February.
Absolutely. So everyone, that brings us to the end of this online May Day. I'd like to thank Unions New South Wales for bringing this event together. But most of all, I'd like to thank all of you that have come online tonight to share this incredibly important day with us. Thanks to all our speakers. Thanks to all our guests. And I think I just want to say stay safe and stay well, everyone. We'll all get through this together. And shall we leave perhaps with the words of our winner, Phoenix, who said in her art, stay strong, stay union, and stand together. Good night, everyone, and God bless.